Look at that. Look at that. The thing about this is he seems to be doing a different dance to everyone else. And we only recently, Andrew, we saw him doing that TikTok dance. He was miming, lip syncing to some pop song or other. So here he is. So the question is, Andrew, you know, he's trying to forge this reality TV career. On the back of what? What is the launch pad for this? It is that he was our health secretary throughout this extremely alarming, tragic COVID crisis in which thousands of people died, some would say as a result of his mishandling of the crisis, although that's only an allegation and I wouldn't subscribe to that myself, he said carefully. But seriously, is that a decent thing to do? Just take that job he had as health secretary, under whose stewardship thousands of people died, not necessarily his fault, but the COVID crisis killed thousands. It just seems tasteless to me. What do you think?
Well, yes, it does seem tasteless. And I think he thought that he was very popular out in the jungle in I'm a Celebrity. But of course he wasn't. I mean, I went on the I'm a Celebrity app and voted for him multiple times every evening because I wanted to see him eating a kangaroo's testicle and being with cockroaches rather appropriately. That's why he was kept in for so long. But I'm reminded of Lord Acton's famous dictum that power tends to corrupt and absolute power corrupts absolutely. And in a democracy, Matt Hancock had about as much power as any politician could possibly have had. I mean, this was the man standing at a podium and telling us all that if we didn't obey these rules, we would be caught, we would be fined, we would be prosecuted. And I think it was a little disaster as
but it was okay for him to break the rules. It was okay for him to break the rules. You know, kissing.
Well, he had his massive fall. Yeah, I mean, he had his massive fall from grace, didn't he? And the images of him in his office with his mistress is an image that I just have not been able to get out of my head at all 2.5 years later.
Yeah.
I'm going to need therapy for it.
Yeah.
But this man is no longer a serious politician. He knows that. He's now trying to forge a career as a reality TV star, as you've said. But what about his poor constituents in Suffolk, who are really not being represented at all? I think it's 5 Conservative MPs have recently resigned from office. Well, why can't he be the 6th?
Yeah, because you're right. He's still drawing his 85 grand or so a year MP salary, representing is East Suffolk. Am I right? Something like that.
West Suffolk.
West Suffolk. Oh, wrong zone. But that's kind of wrong, isn't it? That he spends all his time in various jungles filming reality TV shows.
Of course it is. I mean, I've got no objection to MPs having other sources of income, but those sources of income tend to be closer to home. They tend to be doing it in addition to their job in the House of Commons. It can't be seen that he's doing his job in the House of Commons if he disappears to Australia for 2.5 to 3 weeks, if he's going off and doing this particular programme as well. He's not. And he's not particularly active in the House of Commons either. He pops up occasionally. But I think he really should just decide what he wants to do. If he wants to be a reality TV star, which I think he'll be an utter failure at, well, go ahead and do it. But you resign your seat in the House of Commons, force a by-election.
Yeah, I think it was Enoch Powell who said that all political careers end in tears. Well, these days there's a case for saying that a significant number of political careers end in the jungle, filming I'm a Celeb or various other reality TV shows. You know, for a man who was once the holder of one of the great offices of state, health secretary, he's fallen a long way, hasn't he?
Oh, God, he has. I mean, as I said at the beginning of the interview, Kevin, I mean, he was the man who wielded so much power over our lives and was forcing restrictions and lockdowns through and was threatening us all. And now he's reduced to doing these stupid dances on reality television. I mean, that is a massive fall and I haven't a clue what he's going to do next, but I don't think he can be taken seriously.
Yeah, and he's not very successful. He's not turning himself into a popular celebrity, and he never will, for technical reasons, because a lot of people won't forgive him for some of the horrors of the COVID crisis and the constant lockdowns, the draconian nature of the government during those dark years.
And care homes as well. What happened in care homes?
Exactly.